Howdy folks, this is Checkers back again with another Fallout 4 video here today to take a look at how to create a simple lighting effect in Fallout 4. Now in theatrical terms this effect is called a chase. It's basically when we have 5 lights over the power armor there, we would start with this light coming on and all the other 4 being off, and in the next step of the effect this light would come on, that light would go off, in the next step this light would come on and this one would go off, and so on down the line. And I will show you how to create that effect today. You've probably seen it in things like Christmas lights or, even in Broadway shows. The chase is actually fairly common. It's in the Wasteland Workshop trailer, as a matter of fact, although I think they must have created their chase in a different way. I think there are more ways to do this, but this is the one way that we're going to look at today. And the combination of switches we are going to use is the switched power pylon, just as our main on-off switch, an interval switch, which will essentially be our heartbeat. It's set to 1 second on, 1 second off, 1 second on, 1 second off, essentially a 2-second cycle. It would be nice if it was a shorter cycle, like a half second on, half second off, or even quarter or eighth second on, eighth second off, but we're going to make do with what we have. What we need next is a series of power counter switches, so we're going to go into our settlement interface, over to power, over to switches, and all the way down the line to the power counter switch. And we are going to set these up 1, and I'm going to stagger them a bit so the wires will all work, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And now what we need to do is set them all. So I will put a link in the cards, which is the small letter I in the upper right hand corner, to the interval switch video. So basically if you click on that I, you'll get a drop down of all the videos that are linked to this video, and you will see the interval switch video, and if you want to learn how to set the timing, you can check that video out there. And to set the timing for these other 5 power counters, I'm going to use a completely different system of power. When you hook a terminal up to a system of power, right now this power coming in through here is set to a generator, let's call it generator A. If I were to hook this terminal up through generator A's power, whatever else was hooked up to generator A would be affected by that terminal. Essentially it would overwrite those previous timings the next time the power was cycled. So in order to keep it separate so that I create timings and settings simply for these switches, the power counters, and not anything here or anything elsewhere, I have a second generator B line coming through here into this switched power pylon, this terminal, and this interval switch, and these are going to be the ones that I use to set up control. So let's get started with that. And we will draw a line from this interval switch to this power counter and escape the settlement interface. And this interval switch is also set to 1 second on, 1 second off. I will turn the switched power pylon on, come right to my terminal, and I want to set power counter control to 5 cycles because I have 5 lights. So I'm going to exit out of the terminal, and now I want this counter to stop at 5, so I'll come over to my switch, and when it hits 5, cut the power. So now my first power counter is set to 5. I open up the settlement interface once more, select this wire. I'm going to store it in the workshop so we break that connection. Draw a new line to our second power counter, connect that, exit out of the settlement interface, turn the switched power pylon back on, come to my terminal, and I want all these power counters to be set to 5. And then I want to stop this one at 4. Okay, so 5, 4. And we come back into the settlement interface, break this connection, draw a new connection to our third one. Exit the settlement interface, turn the power back on, come back to our terminal, and we want the power counter control again to be 5. They're all going to be 5. And I want to stop this counter at 3. And I got it. Outstanding. Okay, let's open up the settlement interface once more. We're going to break this connection. We're going to draw a new line to our 4th power counter, exit the settlement interface, and come back over, turn our switched power pylon back on, come to our terminal, set this power counter to 5 cycles, exit out, and we want to stop this one at 2, but I'm probably not going to be fast enough, so we're going to have to wait for it to cycle. 5, 0, 1, 2. Cut power. Open up the settlement interface. Come over to this connection. We're going to store that. Draw a new line to our 5th power counter. Connect it. Exit the settlement interface. Come over to our switched power pylon. Turn it on. Use the terminal. Set our power counter control to 5 cycles. And then we're going to try and stop this one on 1. Nope, too soon. Okay, I think I got it. So we are set to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to open up our settlement interface one more time, store this wire, and now we want to set up all of our other connections. So let's connect our light to this conduit. So all of our lights are connected to the conduits right above the switches now. We're going to draw a line of power from this interval switch to our first power pylon, another one to our 2nd, another one to our 3rd, another one to our 4th, and another one, let's make 100% sure, to our 5th. Okay, and now we're going to connect up to our conduits so that we can deliver power to our lights. Okay, and now we're going to exit the settlement interface, turn off our Pip-Boy light, and if I've gotten this all right, we should see our chase effect when I throw the power here. So let's cross our fingers and throw the switch. Now it'll reset. Okay, and we have our chase. So this is mainly just an aesthetic effect. You know, just if you would like to have lights flashing around the outside of one of your buildings or around a sign or something like that. But it is a simple and kind of fun effect to play with. And I think there may be other ways to do that, and we may explore that in the future. But for right now, this is one use of the combination of the interval switch and the power counter, essentially using the interval switch as a heartbeat and the power counters as timers. So once again, this has been Checkers with another Fallout 4 video. Taking a look at a simple chase effect, I would like to remind you that I have a Twitter link in the description of the video and on my channel main page. If you're on mobile, it'll be on my channel about page. Also, if you look in the upper right hand corner, you will see a small letter I with a white circle around it. These are cards and links to other videos that I've made, and in this case they will link to the interval switch and the power counter switch. I would like to thank you for watching. I hope you found the video informative and maybe just a little entertaining. I would like to invite you to subscribe, like, and share if you so desire, and ask you to please take care.